For 14 years, we've been living in New Zealand. And in that time, we've come to take for granted how New Zealand is. But this week, up in Auckland, we discovered that not everywhere is the same.
Her foot just went and there was nothing there and she just went whoomp. People started saying, oh my God, should we go and help? Should we do something? And you're like, and I'm already now kneeling down and I'm looking back as if like...
In this week's episode, we're going to share with you a different side of New Zealand. And not only that, we're going to bring you along with us.
It's a Drama, coming to you from Taranaki, New Zealand.
Hello.
Daddy, I love him!
Mother thanks you.
Right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello and welcome to the It's a Drama show. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And today we're back to talk about more life in New Zealand. In fact, this episode is all about an untypical week in New Zealand.
For us.
For us, yeah. We're
Yes.
going to share something that never normally happens to us in New Zealand. I don't often go away on holiday on my own. I went to Waiheke Island. Loads of stuff happened and we just want to share it with you.
Yeah. So where's Waiheke, Liz?
Hey?
Where's Waiheke?
New Zealand.
Yeah.
So if you are new to the show, we're Liz and Brian, husband and wife. We emigrated to New Zealand from the UK yonks ago now. It's 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Seems like just yesterday.
It does.
And we like to come on here and just chew the fat about life in New Zealand, living in New Zealand, moving to New Zealand, just really, we just love chatting to you, really, you know. We just love getting together with you every week and just having a bit of a goss.
Yeah. Summertime in New Zealand.
Yeah.
It's just the best time of the year. Really, really is, isn't it?
So, yeah, we live on the west coast of the North Island in New Zealand, for those of you who haven't been to our show before, and in Taranaki. And it is absolutely, it's paradise, Brian.
It is
That's
paradise.
What it is.
That's
it's
what they
paradise.
call it. Yep. It really is.
So what happened this week? Well, actually, it was about 10 days ago now. I got a call from a friend who was living on Waiheke Island. She invited me over and said, look, you know, why don't you come over, spend the weekend with me? And it was all a bit touch and go, wasn't it, Bri? Because
Well, you didn't know what bag to take and all that sort of stuff, Liz, and, you know, were you going to go and this, that and the other? Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I won't go on about it too much, but I went over on my own, you see. And me and Brian, we've been together 35 years. We've never spent very much time apart, have we, Brian?
No, not really.
It's a bit sad,
No.
but it's true.
Yeah.
And so she said, look, I'm on my own in Waiheke Island. Why don't you come up on your own? You're in New Plymouth. You're a little saddo. Take some
leave
time
the little
away.
saddo down there.
Yeah, just leave the little man on his own and come up and enjoy yourself, Liz.
That's it.
So that's what I did, and that's what we want to chat to you about, is that whole experience of going to another part of New Zealand.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, Bri,
What?
we haven't lived, me and you.
Why?
Honest to God, up there, it's all going on.
That's Auckland, isn't it, for
Auckland,
you? Auckland's
there's
just...
people.
It's a city.
There's traffic.
Yeah.
Honest, I couldn't believe it, Bri. I felt like, what's that film called about the little mouse that goes to New York with a little backpack on, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what
was
I
his
mean?
name? What was it? Yeah. What was the name
Not
of the
the
mouse?
Rescuers
Yeah.
or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
God, I can't remember. Yeah.
No, you'll
Yeah.
tell us anyway. But that's what I felt like. I got to Auckland and I just felt like this mouse.
Dick Whittington turns up at Auckland. Yeah.
It was because...
Feifel, that was the name of the mouse,
Yeah.
I think.
New Plymouth is just so laid back and so quiet and so, I don't know, just not Auckland. And like I say, it got off the plane and it was just like, big city lights. Where's Brian?
It sort of feels like a large airport, or a
Yeah.
large-ish airport. It's not a big airport, but anyway.
So the first thing you need to know, you're right, Brian?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Nice and relaxed?
Yes, I'm
ready
fine.
to go into the
Yes,
stories?
ready to go into it,
Yeah?
Liz.
Okay, settle down then. Got your cup of tea, got your wine, whatever you're having. Let's just go straight in and tell you about our decision, well, my decision, to get the flight up to Auckland, because that's the big thing, isn't it? Like, you know,
I know.
do we drive?
Because you couldn't do a grab a seat, could you? Because it was too late.
No.
Yeah.
So I ended up flying and we just said, look, you know, we had some points on our air miles thing. We collect these air miles on the credit card, don't we?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And I ended up flying. So Bri drove me to New Plymouth Airport. How much was the flight? I wrote it down, 220. One way.
Yep.
Which you just think, well, I'll let you decide about this. I've been pondering this now because I've got nothing else to think about. So I was pondering whether it is worth flying from New Plymouth to Auckland. You tend to think, oh yeah, it saves so much time. But actually, by the time you get there, 45 minutes before you've got to check in and all the rest of it,
Yep.
waiting on the runway, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute, which there was some Kiwis weren't happy about that. And then the flight is 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you get off and then you walk down the pavement. I don't know, Bri. There's not
I know.
much in it.
Then wait for your Uber or your taxi
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
it is. Do you know, there's only probably about 2 hours difference.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you can get a grabber seat for like $100 or something, then you think, all right, because it only costs in the car $150 return.
Bri measured it.
From New Plymouth
Yep.
to Auckland and back. And $150 all in, including road users and everything like that. And, you know, you look at it, if you're just going on the plane, $220, that's $440. It's like, oh, it's 3 times the price nearly, isn't it?
I think if there's more than one of you, then it's obviously cheaper to go in the car, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it? Does it work that way, or is it the other way?
No, it's still cheaper to go in the car.
Oh, is it?
Just on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know people are like, oh, yeah, but no, the time difference. Anyway, so I get to New Plymouth Airport. We have lots of tears, big hugs. I'll see you in 2 days. I'm going to miss you. I love you.
48 hours.
35 years without you. It's going to be hard. But I was dreading leaving you.
Yeah.
I was really dreading leaving you because we do everything together.
I know, but that's what we do, don't
yeah.
we? Travel the world together, everything together, and it's just like, you know.
So I thought, no, come on, get with it, Liz. You're a strong woman. You're independent.
You can do this.
You can do this, Fifel.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
I get to New Plymouth Airport, we say goodbye, and it starts, suddenly, this wind picks up from out of nowhere, middle of summer in New Zealand.
It was quite stormy, wasn't it?
It was,
Windy, yeah.
it was really windy. And I got one of those texts through, you know, on the app that says, you might not be flying, so just be careful. Have Bri on standby because you might not be flying.
Yeah.
Anyway, get on the plane, little plane, how many seats has it got? About
1.
It's me and the pilot, Fifel and the pilot in the front.
It's a bit blowy. Yeah, that wing's tipping up a little bit.
How many, really?
There must be, I don't know. There must be, I'm thinking how many rows? 30 rows maybe?
There's 2 on each side, yeah.
Yeah,
4, 3,
maybe
maybe 100 people.
100 people on board or
Yeah.
something like that, yeah.
So that gives you an idea of the size of the flight, you know, in size of the plane. We get on.
It's a Bombardier, I think, is the name of the aircraft or something like that, isn't it? Yeah,
How do
something
you know
like that.
that?
I don't know, because you get the little piece of paper with the exits, like, you know.
Ah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Air New Zealand, you know what we think about New Zealand and Air New Zealand. And if you don't, just go and listen to our other podcasts.
Yep.
They're the best airline in the world. And
Bar none.
Yeah, bar none.
Yep.
But it always makes me laugh when I fly, like internally in New Zealand.
Yeah, it does.
Because it's almost like they're trying to, like, they're pretending to be a proper airline.
I know, yeah. Like it's real.
Yeah, like...
You do get seatbelts.
That's the impression I get.
I know.
Every time I fly.
You don't get the oxygen mask because you don't fly high enough, like, you know,
The
I don't think.
air steward or the...
I don't know.
What's it called? You don't call them air hostesses anymore, do you? But, you know, the air...
Yeah, steward.
Yeah, the air steward people. They're all really professional. They all look beautiful, hair all done.
Yeah.
And they welcome you when you get on the flight. Good morning, like, you know, kia ora, welcome, you know, sit down, all the rest of it. It's all very proper, but there's just something underlying that I think, you're just playing at this.
Do you know what makes me
You're not
laugh? Is
proper.
like that you sit down and they get the tannoy out. It's like, come on. It's like being on a bus, isn't it? Like, you know, you can hear everybody talking in there, like, you know, and it's like they're getting the tannoy, like, you know, we're now going to be taking off, this, that and the other. And then once we're at altitude, we'll bring some refreshments round. It's a cup of water.
Yeah, a cup of water.
A cup of water.
No.
No, it is.
They brought a cookie round.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Or a piece of fudge?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, fudge. They bring.
Yeah.
They say our gluten-free option is the chocolate fudge. It's
Yeah.
about that
Have you got
big.
a sugar-free option? No.
But, you know, it's.
I know, but that's what I love about it. That's what I like about it.
I know, and it's really, really good. This might be the same. I don't know if it's the same all over the world when you fly internally. Like, are your airlines a little bit? Like they're making it up and play. You know, like when you were a kid and you're like, let's play airlines and like, good morning, welcome, sit down, we'll bring some refreshments. Anyway, this is the story. This is what made me think about that.
Yeah.
We get on the aeroplane and there's all these people around us. And like Bryce said, you can hear everything, you can see everyone.
Yeah.
And it's all stormy, right? So it's windy. I think we were due to fly at 12. And 12:15, we're still sitting there on the runway.
On the runway, eh?
No one said a thing.
Engines going?
Air hostess, like, you know, just checking the bags that she's checked a
How many
million
times has she opened that little locker where she sits? There's a little locker next to it,
Well,
or there's a
just
little
check
drawer
again.
that she gets something out, and then she takes things off and puts them in there and locks it.
Yeah, exactly.
What is it she's putting in?
Anyway, you could just feel like people starting to get annoyed, like, you know,
Yeah.
and I thought, well, I'm not going to say anything, obviously, because I'm British, so there's no way I'll be complaining. Anyway, this guy turns up, like, really brave.
Yeah.
He goes, excuse me,
Yeah.
when are we going to be taking off? And she went, yes, we're going to be taking off soon. It's just a little bit windy. And he went, well, a bit of communication would be nice, eh?
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, probably hadn't had his dinner.
Anyway,
Or it's lunch.
She walks down to the end of the pit.
Like that.
Yeah, walks down to the end of the pit. And I'm not kidding, within 2 seconds of her going through that door, she must have gone in there and said to the pilot, for Christ's sake, say something, will you? They're out there complaining. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah. And he comes on, he goes, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick update. It's very windy out there and we can't take off. And that's what it reminded me of. It was just like, I bet you she went in and said that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, stop leaving it to me. They're out there complaining. And he's like, take them some water or a piece of fudge or something.
Yeah, get that fudge out, roll out the fudge.
Saving that
Yeah.
when we fly over flipping Rotorua.
You used to get a cup of tea at one time. You just get straight out of the plastic bottle, isn't it?
So anyway, that was the first thing. So now we're sitting on the runway for 20 minutes and I'm thinking, well, I could be halfway to Auckland now in the car with Bri putting his foot down.
I know, yeah.
So we get there. Anyway, I think the whole thing, getting to the airport.
How long's the flight? What, 35-minute flight? 40 minutes?
Yeah, so let's say it's 40 minutes.
By the time you take off, it's almost like ready to land, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
It is, isn't it? You get to altitude. We're now at cruising altitude, and then 2 minutes later, we're descending into Auckland. You're like, okay.
So I don't know if it was worth it. I just sat there the whole time thinking, you know, I don't know. I think I would have rather just driven, but then I wouldn't have had the experience, wouldn't have had my fudge.
Yeah. Who did you sit next to?
He's a young lad. He had his little headphones on. They never talked to you, did they?
Don't,
Didn't want to talk to
Not
me.
if you've got a phone, there's no point, is there?
No.
Yeah.
So anyway, get to Auckland Airport. So that was an adventure. Like, got it off and, you know, I was very clever. I took just a carry-on bag.
Yes.
So I didn't have any suitcases.
Yep.
Kept
Yeah.
travelling
And it
light.
went in the locker all right on that little plane. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, just rammed it in.
Yeah, squashed
Rammed
it in.
yeah.
Yeah.
So get to Auckland Airport. Now, the last time we flew to Auckland Airport and went into Auckland city centre,
Yep.
there was a bus that went...
The blue bus.
Yeah.
What happened to the blue bus?
Well, apparently, after COVID, because of COVID, they stopped it.
Oh, that's handy.
I know.
Yeah.
So now, when you get to Auckland, like Bryce said, you used to just be able to hop on the bus. It went every 15 minutes, I think.
Yeah, and there was...
Straight into the centre of Auckland.
Yeah, there were stops all the way, and then they'd stop right down, what's the name? Is it Queen Street? They'd go all the way down
Yeah.
Queen Street, wouldn't they? And just drop you off, and you could get off near your hotel or whatever it was.
But they've stopped all that now. There is one bus that apparently that goes from Hamilton and it goes there, but you've got to be there on a Wednesday at 2:10 in the morning, and you know you've got
that's
it's
handy.
not 2:10, but you know what I mean. It's not frequent, is what I want to say.
Yeah, yeah.
So now what you have to do is you have to get a bus. I wrote it down. You have to get a bus to Manukau,
Right.
and then you have to get a train from Puinui. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Right.
Into the centre of Auckland, and I just thought, my brain. I'm sorry, but I can't know.
Why?
I don't know, Bri. I don't know.
You used to always, if like we were with the family, you would make us do that, and I'd be like, let's just get an Uber, it'd be easier, and you'd be like, no, it's 10 pence cheaper to do it on the train, and it's an experience, and you're like, oh,
But
okay.
I just thought, after all my kerfuffle with the fudge on the plane,
Liz goes on her own, gets the Uber app,
I did.
straight out.
I thought, sod it. I'm just gonna look on Uber, like, you know, and see,
Yeah.
because I just thought I can't be bothered to get a bus and then a train and then
But it might be really quick, because if it takes you right into, is it called Britomart? That's the train
Dunno.
station right
Yeah.
by the ferry ports and things.
I don't know. And probably.
Yeah.
I know it was lazy, but I tell you what, flipping Ubers. There's masses of Ubers at Auckland Airport.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. So I end up getting an Uber. I just thought no, and I was silly really, because thinking about it, I should have just gone up to someone on their own and said, "Do you want to share an Uber with me?" Why didn't I do that?
Yeah, if you're going into the middle of town,
I know.
Yeah, you should do that, really, shouldn't you? Anyone want to share an Uber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just put my hand up.
Because you can pay on your app, can't you? You can pay across
Yeah,
apps.
yeah.
Yeah.
So masses of Ubers in Auckland. When you get to Auckland Airport, you go over the road, walk through the car park where all the rental cars are. I'll tell you this because I didn't know. I had to find
This
out
is from the
myself.
domestic airport.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then at the back of the car park where all the rental cars are, there's like a back road, and they all come in, like, you know.
Oh,
And
they're allowed to that bit.
Yeah, they're all
'Cause
allowed in
sometimes
that
Ubers
bit.
aren't allowed in airports, are they? You have to like walk with your bags out of the airport.
So I got an Uber,
Yeah.
and that cost me $56.
So up to
know. I was dreading telling you that.
$276
I know.
to get to Auckland.
I know.
Oof.
And I tell you what, I don't know about the Uber. I mean, I love Uber, but when you're on your own, there's always that thought that goes through your head, like, am I going to get murdered? Do you ever think that? I thought that in Thailand as well, Brian.
Did you?
You know, when you were in the hospital, I had to come home on my own.
Yes.
Hang on a minute. You know, when you were in the hospital, I had to come home. I thought the same.
But you love that though when you
I
got
know,
your Uber.
I'm fine once I'm in it.
Yeah.
And I realise that the person is not going to murder me
Yeah.
and drag me away.
Well, that's any taxi driver, isn't it?
I know. And I wish I didn't think like that, but I do. You know,
Yeah.
there's always that little thing of like, oh, you could just drive away with me now. And I know they can't because obviously they're safe. You know,
Should be.
This is just me like psycho thinking this.
Yeah.
I'm sure not everyone else thinks this, but yeah. Anyway, got in the Uber. It was actually a lovely, lovely man who'd emigrated to New Zealand 3 years ago. And I'm not joking. He had to be the most talkative. I couldn't get a word in edgeways by. I wanted to tell him about
you
the
sit in the
fudge
front
and
or
the
the back?
delay. I sat in the back.
The back.
Are you supposed to sit in the back?
Well, really, yes. It's you don't have to talk as much in the back. Do you sit on the passenger side or do you sit on the driver's side?
I sat on the passenger side
So he
in the
could
back. He
turn
was
and
looking
look at
in.
you?
No,
Oh,
he
right.
wasn't turning and looking at me.
I was just
You're
looking
not
at-
going to do that, are you?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, well, yes. How are you going?
All right, well, hang on a minute. It's not like this in where I'm from.
So no, he was looking at me in the mirror, and do you know what really strikes me when you travel on your own? And I don't know if this is just it's anywhere in the world. It's not just New Zealand. People talk to you so much more.
It's weird that, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're a couple, they tend not to.
I
But
know.
if you're on your own, people just, everything okay there? Or you just like, you can see someone struggling with bags, you tend to want to give them a hand, don't you, or something,
Well, you've
you
got
know?
a story. Bry's got a story later on about how he had to save someone. I won't ruin it.
No.
But you've got a very
In
good
Auckland.
story. He was a hero in Auckland,
Yeah.
local hero.
Yeah.
Police were there and everything.
Everyone there, me.
Anyway, we'll tell you that in a little bit. So yeah, got to the Uber, got to the ferry, and got the ferry. You get the ferry over to Waiheke Island.
Yep.
Lovely little ferry. There's a bar on board.
It's not a
that I
car
was
ferry, is it?
looking for one.
It's just,
Not
you
that I
needed a drink
that.
after your Uber.
Yeah. And I wrote down the prices as well. So it's $56. Oh no, that was my Uber. $27.50 each way
Each way, right.
to get to Waiheke Island from Auckland.
Right.
It's a lovely, lovely.
And how long's the
ride.
ferry?
About 45 minutes.
All right. $27. Yeah. But it's not bad, is it,
Do you think
really?
that's
This
good?
is New Zealand dollars.
Yeah, New Zealand dollars. Yeah.
So about $20 US, isn't it? Maybe less.
I tell you what, though,
What?
Bri, when I was on the ferry, there were school kids coming home from school.
Yeah, but Waiki's not that big, is it? It's a biggish island. It's not tiny.
No, it's
but,
quite big.
Yeah, but all I'm saying, it's got schools there, isn't it? But
Yeah, it's got a high school.
I know, but there's a lot of wealthy people there, Liz.
So what?
Well, they can afford to send their kids to the bigger schools in Auckland.
Yeah, but imagine
You know?
that. Imagine growing up and getting a ferry to school every day.
I know.
You know?
But that's a waste of time, isn't it? Like, you know, when it's just like, you feel like saying to the parents, don't you? Why don't you invest your money that you're spending, what's it going to be, $300, $250, $1,000 a month? Why don't you all get together and go, let's give it to a local school and make it a better school?
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, if there's like 100 kids going over, that's $10,000 a month that they could spend on a school.
I just
You know?
thought, I looked at them in their uniform and I just thought, what a life, just to get on a ferry and just go over to Auckland on your ferry and then come back. But yeah, the price, apparently, they're all kicking off the Waiheke local people. It's too expensive for their, I don't know, maybe they have like a discount stuff.
Maybe
but-
they do, but
yeah.
and still, maybe you can get a season ticket or something like that. But realistically, it just seems a waste of time for the kid's life. you know?
I imagined Waiheke Island. I'd only ever heard about it and I'd never been, and you've never been, have you, Bri?
No.
And I actually imagined it to be a lot smaller than it is. It's a proper big island.
Yeah.
With buses.
With buses?
Yeah, it's got roads.
Yeah, it's got traffic lights.
Obviously, it's got roads.
Traffic lights?
It's not like New Plymouth. Honestly, we need to get out more, me and you,
I
don't
know.
we?
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, it's absolutely beautiful, really.
Paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, do you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of, if you've ever been to, where's that place in Florida where you go right down to the bottom of Florida?
Oh, the Keys, the Florida
yeah,
Keys.
you know that kind
Yeah.
of feeling that, like, just like everyone's on holiday and there's palm trees and it's white sandy beaches. A cross between California, that place in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to just say those two. It was not what I imagined it to be at all. It's just bigger than I imagined it to be.
Yeah.
And like I say, lots of lovely shops and
Yeah. No, I've never been, but I did. My friend, my ex-business partner, had a house over there, and he used to go over quite a lot and just said it's just gorgeous. It's paradise.
Yeah.
You know, it really,
Yeah.
really is. And I've always wanted to go, but
How would you define paradise? If you said paradise, what would you think of when you said paradise?
well, like when you go on to like a Jamaican beach where you've got the palm trees sticking out over the sand, almost like onto the actual sea itself, and it's white sand, and you know your boat's parked up there, and it's just gorgeous. You know, that turquoisey blue, and just blue sky, not too hot, but just
Oh, it's nice and warm over there.
all the sounds of the jungle in the background type thing. You know?
Funny, isn't it? How you say, "Oh, it's like paradise," and
I know.
then you stop and think, "Well, what is paradise to you?" You know, well, like, what is it?
Yeah.
Like we said earlier in the show, this area, Taranaki, is known as Taradise.
Yeah.
Because this is paradise, and there's certainly not white sands and palm trees and things here, but it's just, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Like, what is paradise to you?
I know, because we went for a swim this morning on the beach, and we were the only ones in the water. It was blue sky. You know, it's clouded up a wee bit off the mountain at the moment. It's all blue out that way, but it was just gorgeous down there, wasn't it? And you can just say, well, doesn't matter where you are, this is it.
I know.
This is the best place around.
I know.
And we've got the beach to ourselves, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's funny, like,
It's a
when you
big
say
beach.
that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Waiheke Island. I'm going to say that, are you going to ask me about what it was like? Or?
Well,
Go on, Brian.
what did you do on Waiheke
Just
Island,
missed
Liz?
you the whole time, Brian.
Did you?
Yeah,
Did you
I
just sit there
did.
crying and you're constantly on the phone to me? Yeah. What you doing? Nothing.
I'm cleaning, of course you were.
Resting.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
believe you spent the weekend cleaning when I told you to relax.
Oh, do you know what? The car had been into the panel beaters because someone had dinged it on the side, hadn't they? Like, and I got it back, and they did a fantastic job, but they just obviously, they left everything open on the car, and it was just covered in white dust and everything. So they should have put it through a valet first, and I wasn't very happy. It took me 3 hours to clean the car.
3 hours. Well, I was
3
away. I was
hours.
away for 3 days. What else
that
did you
was
do while I
just
was
cleaning
away?
the inside,
And then did you just give the house a good going over?
No, not really.
No?
But just, it just by the time the Friday was over, I only had Saturday, so that was it really.
Oh, and you had Sunday.
Yeah, but I was trying to fix a lock on the car.
Oh, so you've spent your time just doing
Fixing stuff.
I know, and you were supposed to be relaxing. But anyway, I'll tell you what. Went to a lovely winery.
Yeah.
So my friend, she was just such a wonderful host, and she took me to these beautiful beaches. We went swimming in the sea. She took me on a lovely walk. Cafes, which I've talked about in previous episodes, Bernard, and we also, but the best place that she took me to was this winery. I've written it down, the name of it.
Yeah.
It was called Casita Miro. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's this winery that it's famous for its 3-course lunches.
Oh, right.
So
What day did you go there? The
I
Friday?
went there on the Saturday.
Oh, the Saturday.
And we went
Right.
for lunch, and they do dinner on a Saturday night as well. And I'm not joking, it was $79
Right.
for a 3-course set lunch. That doesn't include wine.
It
So,
doesn't.
No.
Right.
Well,
So
you're not
that's
gonna,
what.
it's not going to be $79.
No, that's pretty good when you think. Is it though? Yeah.
Well,
what was the 3 courses?
I'll tell you what we
Yeah.
had, and then you can tell me if you think it's good value. So first course comes out, olives.
That's not a course, though, is it?
Shut up.
What
Shut
olives?
up.
That's
I
a,
haven't finished.
it's a taster.
What?
Oh, go on then. It's all right.
Finished. You're
Okay.
interrupting.
All right.
So olives comes out, like little cheese balls,
Yeah.
deep fried goat's cheese balls. What else came out? Like bruschetta, hummus, dips, a little pot of their homemade olive oil.
All right.
Oh, I know what it was. It was like this, because Bry's gluten-free, so I've been starved of bread for the last 2 years because I have to join in with him and pretend that I'm gluten-free as well. Yeah. And they sent out this lovely homemade focaccia. How do you pronounce it?
Focaccia?
Focaccia?
Yeah, something like that.
Someone Italian is going to pull me up on that. But it's beautiful homemade bread.
Hey, Laura, if you're watching, let us know how you say it.
I just say it. And you just dipped the bread in the oil. It was gorgeous. That was the first course. Second course comes out. This was the creme de la creme. New Zealand lamb. Oh my God, it was just so good, Brian. Big chunks, slabs like this.
Yeah.
Cut down, tender, rare New Zealand lamb served on a bed of vegetables. There was these little roast potatoes with all creme fraiche over them, smoked paprika, asparagus, broccolini. Oh my God.
You haven't had your lunch yet, have you?
It was flipping to die for. It was lovely.
Sounds lovely.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bri, you
There's
love
plenty of
the
lamb.
Well, that's
So-
the good thing.
What?
Because normally you go to these places, like all
Yeah.
they're fancy and everything like that, you hardly get a thing. I can't stand that.
No, I can't stand
You know,
it.
it just
You get
turns
silver,
up.
Or they give you silver service type thing, and
know.
they give you a little yeah,
Yeah.
piece. Yeah.
But no, this place, it was abundant. It was just, like I say, 3 big pieces of lamb. I could
Right.
only just finish it, Bri. I had to
Well, that's not like you, is it?
I had to force it down, that last
Yeah.
piece. No, loads. I've got to give a huge shout out to this place. Loads of food. Staff were lovely. Atmosphere just gorgeous, really buzzy.
Yeah.
Lots of colour. People sitting in the garden on beanbags drinking wine. And, Bri,
Sounds
it was
great.
lovely. And then the dessert. The dessert was a little bit small. You know, that was just like a little piece of like, I think it was cake or something. But I didn't care because I was all full up.
You're
from my lap.
not really big in desserts anyway, are you?
No. So yeah, it was absolutely phenomenal. It was lovely. And I think with the wine, I think we had 2 glasses of wine as well. Or did I have to? No, I had a bottle, not a bottle.
A bottle of
I had
wine?
a bottle of bubbly. No, I had a glass of bubbly. And then I think 1 other glass of wine.
Right.
So 2 glasses of wine. And I think it came to $140, I want to say, $130.
Both of you.
No.
Each.
$79. What?
What, $50 on wine?
Yes.
Jeez.
That's $25 a glass.
Wow.
What?
I thought it was a winery.
What?
Oh, I
What are you
thought it-
saying?
What? Don't they do their own wine?
Well, yeah. I want to give a huge shout out to you because you are great. Casito, just ignore what Brian's saying because he's just been a tight ass. And it was you were paying for the experience, Brian.
So, $25.
Did you enjoy
for,
cleaning the car
how
while I
big
was
was
away?
the glass of wine? Was it a little glass or was it
No,
a big
actually,
glass?
it was a lovely, lovely big glass. I tell you what, that's what I like about when you go to a winery.
Yeah. They extort you for wine.
No.
Come on.
What?
Oh, it's like working out like $75 a bottle. It probably cost you $10 to make it. Come
Do you know
on.
what, Brian? I don't like this attitude. I really don't because I'm trying to.
Jeez.
No.
It's a winery.
I know, but
Yeah.
$20 for a glass of wine isn't bad.
But you're already making good money on the food.
Brian?
So, what?
Stop it now, right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Do you know
stop
what?
it.
I've seen the bill that came through on.
God.
I was just doing accounts the other day, and I saw the bill come through, and it doesn't even say Waikiki. It says some company in Auckland, so they probably own it. You know, it's probably some rich
Will
Aucklander.
you stop it?
What?
Because this is about telling people
How
to go
good it
to
is.
Casito Miro
All right.
or Miro. No.
Yeah.
Go, but go on your own with your friend, okay?
Don't
just
take
leave
me.
your husband at home.
If you want to take me.
Just leave him to clean the car. It'll be fine. He can just stay at home. So no, it was absolutely lovely.
All right.
And the other thing I want to say, because I know I was talking to someone down the cafe the other day,
Yeah.
and I was asking her about, and I was telling her about Waikiki Island, and she's got dogs, and she said, "Oh, I'd like to go there, but is it like dog friendly?" I have never been to a place in all my life that's got so many dogs on
Really?
than that island. Yeah, it's
What,
Dog
in-
Island, Bri.
Were they at the Casita
Oh, they're
Mirio?
all over.
Mirror, what's it called?
Well, I'm not going to say it now because you've just made me embarrassed by saying that they're ripping me off for the wine.
Did people take the dogs to the actual?
Not telling you.
All right. Next.
Yes. Yeah. No, they're all over.
They're all over.
Just it's a very, very dog-friendly place. So if
Right.
you're here in New Zealand and you've got dogs, you're thinking, oh, don't want to be taking the dog over on the ferry and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
It's so dog-friendly.
Oh, that's great.
It's brilliant. Yeah.
And you can take your dogs on the beach and everything like
Yeah,
that. It's
I
like,
think
yeah.
so. It must be like a set time that you can take them.
Yeah, normally in the summer they're a
Yeah.
bit more strict, aren't they?
I'm going to say that's because I know you're dying to know, Bri.
Yeah.
I know you're not going to ask me, so I'll just
But-
prompt you anyway. Well,
But
go on.
from that restaurant, just get that. How much would you give it out of 10?
10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Why?
Okay, $140 each. That's a $280. That's just when we go out next time.
No, do you know what, Bri? I don't know why you're acting like this because you're not like this. It's normally me that's a penny
I know.
pincher. No, it was worth every single
Right.
penny. Now, if you'd gone away with your friend
Yeah.
and I'd seen the bill come through for 140, I'd be thinking, why didn't you go down the chip shop?
Yeah, exactly. Or
You know?
McDonald's.
Nice
Yeah.
little glass of water
That's
and
it.
some chips.
$16.50. You're done.
The whole experience, it was just so worth it. Like I say, beautiful stuff, great food, lovely wine.
Yeah.
And I don't think that is extortionate. I mean,
Not
yeah.
if the venue's good, because we did a podcast a few weeks ago about swanky places and stuff, didn't we? Like, which we did talk about stuff where is it value for money just because it's swanky, But that, obviously, that sounds like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you going? Yeah. So why? I'm just waiting for you to ask me because I said to you before we started.
Yeah.
Maybe ask me about Waiheke, Brian.
So, what was your favourite bit of Waiheke Island, Ayla's? Was it like? Was
Coming home to you.
Yeah. Getting back on the ferry.
I don't know. I just felt, I'm going to be totally honest with you here now.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, little disclaimer, you've got to go to Waiheke Island because it is beautiful.
Yeah.
I did feel a little bit out of place.
In what way? Like a little Taranaki girl?
I did a bit.
Right.
Is that really sad?
No. You shouldn't have taken your red bands, though. I think you should have taken something a bit nicer.
It's got a feeling, and I don't know if I fit into, because I didn't feel as if I fitted into any of those groups. I was talking to someone about this the other day down at the cafe. It's got a feeling of like, it feels like it's made up of either very, very wealthy billionaires.
Right.
I mean, literally.
Tons of money.
Tons of money.
Are they all artists?
No. And then you're made up of, it seems to me, like the original hippie people that went to Waiheke Island back in the 60s or 70s, I think it was.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to live there then, did they?
They're the artists.
Right.
And the, the sculptors and the musicians and like just hippie people. Quite a bit older than me, so retired kind of age,
Right. Yeah.
So you've got that group of people. And then you've got the, just like the I don't want to say wannabes, but it's almost like, kind of rich, like, I don't know, I don't want to sound, but wannabes, just...
Right, just what do you mean, like social climbers, or you mean just like
know,
people who
I
think,
don't-
I've got my BMW, so look at me in a different way?
I suppose what I'm trying to say is I couldn't quite fit into, that group of people. I couldn't find... I was thinking about it, because you always think this, don't you? When you go somewhere, you're like, oh, could me and Bri live here?
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'd like to live there.
Right.
Because it doesn't have the same feel as home has.
Does it not feel like real New Zealand? Or does it?
It feels like a different New Zealand than I'm used to.
Right.
It feels like Dunedin and Taranaki, it felt the same.
Similar,
it just has that feeling of, it doesn't matter who you are or what you've got or whatever, we're just the same. And it didn't feel like that there. Now, hands up, it might have just been my hang-ups, my insecurities, whatever, I don't know. Maybe I was just there thinking, oh, I'm not as good as you, or I'm not this and I'm not that. I don't know. But I'm being completely honest. That's what it felt like. It just felt like the haves and the have-nots, or the haves and the wanna-haves kind of thing.
Right.
And then, this really this really down-to-earth group of original people that were there, an artist, and they were like the local people,
Right. Yeah.
that make
Again,
sense?
yeah, it does. Yeah, I'd like to go and see it, because I'd like to see the difference in the architecture of the houses and stuff like that, and see where those, like, say, those original people, have they upgraded their house, or are they still that sort of batchy style house on the beach type thing? But just it's probably worth 4 million now, you'd never sell it,
Oh, Bri, I think more than that. I think more than that, because I said to my friend, oh, how much would one of those houses be? And she's like, oh, in the tens of millions.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like really, really wealthy.
Yeah.
This is the confusing thing, because at the same time, you've got, like, when I went to that cafe and met the guy called Bernard, he's a local and he's original, and he's got that, you get that feeling of like real, like down to earth, just very, I keep saying hippie, because that's the kind of feeling that I got, was just that bohemian, we're just here enjoying life, man, and everything's just cool, and we live on Waiheke Island and everything's just fantastic, and it's just, and I thought, if you were one of those people and you were brave enough to go and live on an island back in the 1960s or 70s, then you're going to be loving it, it's a little bit down here, isn't it?
It was, like Owakura was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That sort of like old sort of batches, they're all gone now. They're all multi-million dollar houses, aren't they?
But I mean, back in 20 years or 30 years ago, I'm sure you could get a batch on the beach down here for
for peanuts, because no one wanted to live. It's like Fitzroy in town. Nobody wanted to live by the sea because it was too cold. But
Yeah, so that was my honest opinion of Waiheke Island. Like I say, beautiful, friendly. I didn't come across anything that was untoward, but you get that feeling when you go somewhere, don't you? You're just like, you just know. You just know, and you're like, nah.
So it wasn't one of those places that you went to the real estate agents and had a look and think, is there a cheapy little place?
Don't get me wrong, Bri.
Yeah.
If someone said to me, oh yeah, Liz, It is a nice little place for you.
Yeah.
Do you want to get over your hang-ups now, do you? I'd
Yeah.
be like, I don't mind about the... Do you know
Yeah.
what? I like the haves.
Lovely people.
And I like the have wannabes. I'm both of those. And I'm an author. I've written a book,
Yeah.
so I can be in your hippie club.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
definitely go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd like to go and see it. I really,
Yeah,
really would.
definitely.
You know?
It's
Yeah.
worth... Just, well, now you're intrigued, aren't you? You want to go over there and see it and go to the wineries and go to the restaurants and the cafes and come back
See
to
what
me
it's like.
and tell me if you agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So, left Waiheke Island and got the ferry back,
Yes.
and Bri came up.
I drove up because that's what we'd agreed on. You know, a bit of a recce for me, sort of to come up and see Auckland. I've been up for probably 2.5 years.
Yeah. You know what? Before we jump into the next section, I just want to take a little break and give you a freebie offer.
You are here because you love New Zealand.
You might be moving to New Zealand.
Living in New Zealand, or you might just spend your days dreaming of visiting this gorgeous country. Because we love New Zealand as much as you do, we have compiled a short and very unique 5-day video series showcasing life in New Zealand, what it's really like. These videos are real, they are exclusive, and best of all, they're absolutely free. So if you would like to view New Zealand from the inside out and find out what life is really like down here, sign up now, and every day for 5 days we will send you a personal 3-minute video showcasing some brilliant aspect of life in New Zealand. You are gonna love it. Go to www.itsadrama.com/I-love-NZ. We can't wait to share those videos with you. Okay, let's get back on with the show.
So yeah, we got back onto the ferry. I got back onto the ferry, and you were driving up from New Plymouth to come and meet me. How lovely is that?
I know, yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, but it was just like, I wanted to come up and just go to Auckland. There's a few little new bits of section of road that have been done, and just say, oh, let's see that. Because I remember sitting in the roadworks years ago, and you don't realise how short that section is, because you're like, oh, was that it?
Is this
but
the one
it's
that you're
taken out
saying?
through the tunnel and stuff in
Right.
the Awakino Gorge. And it's made it a lot easier, but there'd been obviously at some time a big accident on that section of road, which didn't look too good. So obviously the design wasn't great. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully everyone was okay if there was an accident, but you could just see all the skid marks where and everything, like, you know, it looked like a big
I hope
vehicle.
you weren't rubbernecking it.
Oh, no, it all gone
right.
weeks ago or whatever, like, you know, but it just looks like it'd been pretty nasty, you know, a lot of damage to the
God.
new section of road and stuff. And anyway, but yeah, got to Auckland with about sort of 20 minutes, half an hour to spare, because I think I was picking you up at 2:15 or something like that. Parked up just off Queen Street under not a viaduct but a flyover on the road, really close to the front there. Only $3, which I was amazed at. Even though
Really?
it was a Sunday, it's like, you know, most cities are free, but it was $3 for an hour and a half, and I just thought, well, that's pretty reasonable, isn't it? Right?
So we've gone from amazing to reasonable.
Yeah,
in
but
the,
it-
in the
yeah, but
space
you
of
just-
3 seconds.
Yeah, but-
was it amazing or was it reasonable?
Considering I'm in Auckland, but then I remembered it was Sunday, and I was thinking,
You just said.
yeah.
Oh, I got parked up, $3. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then I could see
But
in
then I
your
was
eyes,
thinking
you're like,
it was a Sunday.
So what?
Well, you're supposed to bring people into the town on a Sunday.
$3? You can afford that, can't you?
Well, it's just not the point, is it? You know, they can afford it as well.
Who?
City Council.
Oh, God. Anyway, go on. You parked up and tell your story about what happened, about why you were a hero.
Oh, because I parked up, went down to the ferry port, and then I thought, Liz's not going to be in for another 20 minutes. So I went to find a toilet.
Oh,
on the way
do
back.
We need that.
Yes, you do.
Cut that out. God.
I was coming back from the loo.
Yeah.
Coming around the corner, and there's a huge cruise ship there right on the front, but just by the viaduct, as they call it. A huge cruise ship. Loads of people are around, a lot of Americans, Japanese, and people from all over the world. And there's like a little touristy information place there, just right by the cruise ship. And someone was walking out, and they had something in their hand, and there's 2 big steps.
She coming off
back
the cruise
down.
ship, was she?
Yeah, she's just come off the cruise ship,
Right.
and you could just see, you know, 2 American women, and she was probably
Drunk?
68 years old or something like that, and she went absolutely flying,
Oh,
like
God.
down the 2 steps. The steps are probably yay big, 2 of them, and her foot just went, and there was nothing there, and she just went whoomph, and she almost landed on her cheek, shoulder and cheek. And I'm there, and I'm walking, and I see her. She's literally, 10 feet away from me, and the place is busy. And I'm looking, and it's like people started saying, "Oh my God, should we go and help? Should we do something?" And you're like, and I'm already now kneeling down, and I'm looking back as if like, don't even ask, just come over and make sure she's okay, make sure she's fine, like, And I just got her, and she was like, "Oh," and I was like,
crying?
Yeah, she was so shocked.
Just shocked.
I think she would have been crying because the pain would have exploded, and her friend said, "Oh my God, look at her face. Could you please get some ice?" And I'm like, I don't know where to get some, but I was thinking there's a bar literally, 30 feet away. I said, "Oh, listen, you just turn around, make sure she's okay." And I said, "I'll go and get some ice."
Had anyone else stopped to help at this point? So it's just you?
Just me and her. And it's just like, really? Come on. So I said, right, I'll go and get some ice. Went and saw...
people looking? Were they around?
Well, do you know what? I was just like, I'll go and
You were
get the
too
ice,
busy,
And the guy was trying to get me some ice. He was putting it in a cup, and I'm thinking, have you got a plastic bag? I can just... He's like, no, we've got no plastic bags. And you're like, oh, because you just wanted to...
Bad for the environment, isn't it?
But, well, yeah, not when you need it,
Got
though.
some metal straws.
Yeah, a metal straw, that'll do the job. Anyway, so he by the time he'd got me a coffee cup full of ice, and I'm walking back out, and there's a policewoman then coming towards me, and she said, "Are you getting the ice?" And I went, yeah. I said, "Here it is," I said, she said, "Oh, great." Oh, she said, "What can we do?" Because it's in a thing. And then we got back, and there was 3 policemen there. The other guy said, right, got his rubber gloves out. And I'm like, "Oh, mate, you just get that banter going, I said, "I'm absolutely loving the blue ones, and these are my special ones."
Is that what he
That's
said?
what he said, And I said, "Okay." We tipped the ice into it,
So hang on, he tips the ice into the
ice
rubber gloves?
into the rubber gloves. And I got back to the lady, and she her face had come up like this, had a big sort of bruiser on her cheek and everything, And the other policeman's there, and he's like, we need to get her back on the boat, because the safest place to take her will be back on the boat, because there's going to be a little mini hospital on the boat, and they can probably sort her out, and then if not, they can phone through to the hospital and get it sorted, But these Kiwi police guys, absolutely brilliant. 2 guys and a woman, but just just nothing was fazing them. And they were just. That's when you just think, it's so great to have a police force like we do.
Big shout out to the New Zealand Police Force. We love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, it was, you just like, and the guy sitting down there, "Oh, cheers, bro. Thanks very much. You can get yourself away. We've got this. We've got it under control." And I just like...
Gives me goosebumps.
I know, but it's just like so nice when you just hear those things, and it was just like... Yeah, they're sorted.
Yeah.
All dressed in their blues and everything, and they've got their little caps on, and it's just like,
fantastic.
just sorting it out all gently, and it's just nothing was a problem.
And a big shout out to the person that you went into the bar as well and got the
that's
ice.
it. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the bar, but it was just right there next to where the cruise ships are. It's just they just sell burgers and stuff.
Yeah.
But he was just like, yep, it was brilliant.
What a bit of drama, right?
I know. Yeah, but she went flying.
So you're thinking that because all these other people were on holiday, they were foreigners, they just come off the ship, and they didn't even help
I
her.
just think it's that New Zealand thing that you help anyone.
Yeah, you do.
And I just think, and I have been, in London where people fall over and everybody just keeps walking. They think it's a con or someone's out to get you, but it's just like, come on, we're just human beings here. If it's a con, then everyone's going to see the con in front of you, aren't they? But I just, you could genuinely see that was not a con.
Yeah.
But shall we do something?
I know, but like you say,
Really?
if you've come from a country that...
But they're on the cruise together. These people are on the same cruise. Shall we do something? Yeah, bloody right you should.
Bloody well should, yeah. Get your rubber gloves out, fill it with ice and put it on her face.
Yeah. That's it. Go and
let
look for
Bri tell you about his toilet experience. He's
There
just
we
had to
go.
go to the loo before this.
That's it. Jolly nice
Picking
little
the mouse
toilet.
up in a minute. Talking about cruise ships, because I've
Yep.
got a story about that as well. Honestly, you just think, you say something sometimes, don't you? And you're like, did I really just say that? Did the words just come out of my mouth? So I'm not on the cruise ship. I was on the ferry coming home from Waiheke Island, and I thought to myself, have a nice little tipple to
A little tip. Yeah, I saw that bill as well on the credit card.
a nice little tipple to, just finalise the holiday. So I went, and this is a little bit of a criticism. You need to listen to this, Waiheke Island ferry people. So they've got a bar on the ferry.
Yeah.
And I went down and I said, oh, I'll have a bottle of the...
bottle?
No, Brian,
Oh.
it's this big. You know, like...
$35 bottle, that big.
I'll have a bottle of the Cloudy Bay or whatever it was, just this, a wine that had come off the island.
I think it's Craggy something, isn't it?
I don't know, is it Craggy Point?
Maybe,
I don't know.
yeah.
It was flipping lovely, whatever it was.
It's a Waikiki Island wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gorgeous wine.
Let us know what it is,
Absolutely
whether it is
gorgeous.
Cloudy Bay or Craggy,
Yeah.
Craggy
Anyway,
Point or
go down to
something
the
or whatever
bar,
it is.
line up, and I was right on the top deck. You know, like, it's just brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. For $27.50.
Yeah, it's worth going there
each
and back
way,
for
it is.
Yeah, like you say, 45. It's like a couple of hours entertainment,
Yeah.
isn't it? Just to
So
go
if
there
it-
and back.
Yeah, that's right. Because if it
Yeah.
costs you hang on a minute. If it costs you $55
Yeah.
each way, you could stay on 5, 10, 15, 20, stay on
Each
four
way, yeah.
times, $200.
No, it's 27 each way.
Yeah, so $50 return.
Return, yeah.
You could stay on 3 times.
Yeah.
Just have drinks.
All day.
All day.
Yeah, drinking.
Yeah, well, no, just looking at the view. I mean, when you come into Auckland on that ferry
Yeah.
and see the Sky Tower and
Yeah.
the sky of Auckland, you know, what's-
skyline.
Skyline, that's
Yeah.
it. It just gives you goosebumps.
It's got a great skyline.
It is beautiful.
Auckland, it really, really
It
is.
really
It's a beautiful city. I think it is.
Yeah,
you know,
it is. It's phenomenal. It's lovely.
It has an American feel about it, and quite a few.
Does it?
No. Well, I'll just finish what I'm about to say.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Yes. Some films are actually filmed there because it quite resembles. There's quite a couple of little streets that resemble the US, like, you know. It has that feel about it.
I'll tell you what is like the US. You down there doing your rescue on your hands and knees with your rubber gloves.
Oh, straight down.
I know.
It's like I'm not even
Flipping
going to
Hawaii
say,
Five-0.
shall we do something? It's just like straight down, kneeling down, like helping the
Yeah.
lady, you know? Anyway.
I won't say what I was going to say because that's
No.
a little bit crude. But anyway, so no, I was going to say, it was nothing like that. I was going to say we drop into anyway. So
Yeah.
not about you and your toilet. But
Anyway, no,
more
I don't
toilet
think we
humour.
need to have toilet humour about drippy
Anyway,
bits.
Brian, I'll go to the bar and I get a bottle of wine, little mini bottle, and the guy behind the bar, he unscrews it and hands me the open bottle of wine and a plastic glass to pour it into.
Right.
So now I'm like this.
Did he take the top off
He
it?
took the top off and just...
We should ask for it back.
I know.
It's just like,
'Cause then
oi.
I got to the top, and you know when you're like walking like this, and you're
Yeah.
trying to, like, and all the sea is like this, and yeah. Hang on a minute.
Which one should I take it? Straight from the neck or not? Was it a white or a red
It was
wine?
a white bride, but it was getting all over me, flipping, splashing all
flying
over
everywhere,
me.
was
It
it?
was. I
Yeah.
sat down. I was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
So there's a woman next to me. I spilled wine all over my pants.
Yeah, it was a Magnum.
Now I stink of booze.
Yeah.
I just look like a flipping wino on the top of the ferry.
There she is again, look.
So, person who's listening to this who works on the bar,
Yeah.
leave the top on the wine. I don't know
Yeah.
why you took it off. You don't need to take it off.
There's that New Zealand YouTuber getting drunk again on the ferry.
Anyway, I was sitting next to a woman.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, what's that smell? I said, oh, it's me. I've just dropped wine on my pants. I said, she said, have you had a nice day? Because obviously, you know,
Yeah.
the wine was loosening my tongue. I was on my own. I was
Yeah.
lonely.
Was she on her own?
Yeah.
Oh, was
she
she?
was on, her
Right.
husband had gone downstairs. She wasn't. She was with her
He's
husband.
going to clean his car.
He'd gone downstairs. I said, oh, have you had a nice day? And she went, yeah. And she's from Liverpool, Bri.
All right.
Yeah. She said, yeah, I've had a lovely day, actually.
I thought
It's
she was from
been lovely.
Yeah.
I said, oh,
Yeah.
you're from Liverpool?
Well, she's from Cheshire, wasn't she?
She was from
Chester.
just outside Liverpool.
Yeah, which is like, which all the rich people from Liverpool go to.
Well, obviously, because I said,
Yeah.
I said, oh, yeah. I said, I recognise your accent. I said, my husband's a Scouser. She went, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
this.
not from there. I'm from Chester.
Bloody insult.
Yeah.
Anyway, she said, comes about, she's off the cruise. And the cruise is called, hang on a minute, I wrote it down, Carnival Splendour.
That was a big ship.
It was a huge ship,
It was
wasn't
a whopper.
it?
Not as big as a Sky Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love it when I get talking to people and I'm like, oh, so what's your cruise like? She went, it's all right. I've been on better. I said, oh, why? What are you not happy about? And she said, entertainment's a bit shite.
Straight to the point.
And I went, oh, is it? And she went, they do like audience participation and I can't be doing with that. Don't like it. And I went, oh, okay, it's a good accent, that, isn't
It's
it?
all
Right.
right. It's
Yeah.
all right.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's okay.
Am I passing?
Yeah, you'll do. Yeah.
Anyway, so she had a little moan about the entertainment and she was telling me about, you know, how her daughter lived in New Zealand and she'd come over on this cruise. And I can't believe I said this. I said, oh, you know, so how long is the cruise for? She said, oh, it's an 11-day cruise. She had 2 days travel to Australia. And then it's flipping brilliant, this accent.
Yeah.
I'm going with it.
All right.
11 days, she said 2 days travel to Australia. And she said, and then you get the cruise and you're on 11. And I went, 2 days, wow, to Australia. And she went, yeah. And I went, God, how fast was the ship going to get to Australia in 2 days? She just looked at me and she went, no, you fly. You fly to Australia. And I went,
Get more of that down me. Let's go get another one.
oh, I thought she got on the
Yeah.
boat in England
Yeah.
and it had taken 2 days.
Oh, you didn't, did you?
Well, that's what I said.
Oh, I thought you just meant like Australia to New Zealand on the
No.
boat.
I said, wow, England to Australia in 2 days. How fast was the boat going? And she just looked at me as if like, you half-wit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was that.
It was being dragged by a plane.
You know when you just say something and then you try and like giggle and like try and make out that you didn't mean it and then it just make it all sound worse and you just sound like you might as well
know.
just say, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
That's it. I just need another glass.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you have a glass and then it'll make sense.
Yeah. So that was the trip. That was the trip to Waiheke Island and everything that went on there. So, like I say, fantastic island, brilliant place. I would recommend it highly. Get the ferry over there, go and spend a few days over there, a week or whatever. Go to those wineries. It's absolutely lovely. Really nice.
No, and I'd like to go. Next time we go, we'll do a vlog from there or a podcast from Waiheke and just, give you a bit of footage and stuff like that.
Before we leave, I just wanted to give a big, big shout out to our guest listening from Czech Republic.
The Czech Republic?
Yeah, Czech Republic. And
Yeah.
I just thought, you know what? I don't know much about the Czech Republic. And you left a comment saying, hello from the Czech Republic. Bride, you know,
What?
Czech Republic is historically known as Bohemia, right?
Oh, really?
Have you ever seen pictures of Czech Republic?
No, I haven't. No.
Do you know anything about the country?
I'm trying to think if I've ever been there. Whether I flew into the Czech Republic. Do you know what? My car is made in the Czech Republic.
Oh,
The
is it?
Skoda.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Czech Republic.
that's the
for
thing I
those
was thinking. What I know about Czech Republic. That's all it is.
Do you know where it is in Europe?
Czechoslovakia, obviously.
It is bordered by Austria, Germany, and Poland.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, I went on and looked at the pictures. What a stunning, stunning country
Really?
Czech Republic is. It is just, that looks like
Yeah.
paradise. The little houses, the bridges, the rivers.
It's one place I'd love to
Stunning,
go.
Bri. Yeah. So big shout out to you guys. And before we go, I wanted to say thank you to Caddy Fan, who left a comment on last week's podcast when we were talking about, is New Zealand the closest country to the South Pole?
Yes.
He gave us the answer. He said the closest populated landmass to the South Pole is, dun dun dun, guess.
Well,
Stop looking.
I still don't believe it.
Argentina.
Yeah.
It's true. He knows.
Right.
Thank you, Caddy Fan.
I
Thank
thought it would
you.
have been Chile, which is a little bit lower, but maybe Argentina goes all the way to the bottom.
The southern tip
Is it?
of
All right. So
Argentina.
it's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, Caddy Fan, and to everyone else who commented on last week's show. Do you know what? I am never going to get bored of saying this. I flipping love your comments. I sit there and I put aside 2 hours and I go through them and I just absolutely love them. I come into the kitchen and I say to Brian, listen to this, listen to this, listen to this. Read them all out. You're flipping brilliant, you are. You're absolutely brilliant. I know what it takes to write a comment and we appreciate you immensely.
Yeah.
Absolutely love you. So thank you so much for joining us this week. Thank you for your kind words, your support, everything you bring to this show and joining us in the mass of millions of other people that you could be watching. Thank you for being with us. Keep being you, keep smiling, and I will speak to you soon.
Yeah. So as we say, kia kaha, stay strong, kia u, stay true. And like Liz said, we'll see you on the next one.
Okay.
See you now.
Bye.
Bye.
New Zealand. Everyone knows that New Zealand in the summer is the best. There's no better place in the world. But there are some things that unless you were here right now and you knew exactly what was going on, you would never expect from a Kiwi summer.
Again, this isn't a common thing. Skinny dipping. Couldn't believe it, could we, Brian?
No, not really. Not only that, it was 10 o'clock in the morning.
10
it was
o'clock
like,
in the
come
morning?
on, it's not even night time.
10 o'clock in the morning, there we were, walking down
Throw
the
my stick
beach.
out.
In this week's episode, we're going to share with you what it really means to experience summer down under and share a few secrets that you might not know about.